Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. To start with Ariba overview, Ariba is a separate company until 2012. So they were having a lot of business network. It was acquired in money. Ariba has acquired some of the application providers and they built into their network. Later on, SAP has acquired Ariba in 2012, and after that, it is under SAP control only. So from 2001 onwards, Ariba has stopped providing on-premise installation. So what is on-premise installation? Your software or application will be built on the client server, and you have the ownership. I mean, you have a customizations. Everything is possible on-premise, but it is again the client's responsibility to maintain the application, even the patches, security patches, taking care of the servers, hardware, maintenance, all will be the responsibility of the client with the support of SAP. Ariba. So since 2012 onwards, Ariba has stopped, SAP has stopped providing on-premise solution. It's only available now on cloud solution. So some cases or some clients are still using on-premise application. Maybe you will come across majority of the suppliers are already migrated to cloud solution because of easy. That is a high brief on SAP and Ariba collaboration. Now, let's coming to the Ariba specifically. Ariba can be classified as broadly into two things. One is upstream. Second is downstream. So what is Ariba upstream and what is downstream? So if you take any of the example, for example, a procurement scenario, let's start with one simple example that you are buying a laptop on e-commerce site. Say, for example, Amazon site. So what you are going to do, you are going to create an account in Amazon. You browse through the catalogs and you find out the relevant product for you, selecting a item. So that will give you more details about item description. You go through all those details, overview, description, warranty, support, and feedback, the reviews. Everything you will go and you will choose the product, add to the cart, and then you place an order. So you can choose whether you want to pay in advance or you pay at the time of delivery. Once the order is placed, you will be receiving a notification. On the delivery, either if you have already made a payment, you don't need to make a payment. If not, you will be making a payment so that a transaction is completed. Similarly, when you transform this into procurement in a company cycle, this is also similar. A requester or the person who is needing an item, maybe it could be different item for different people. For example, the people working in HR department may be looking for a stationary item. The people working in production department, they might be looking for a consumables for the production consumables, raw material, spare parts, etc., they will be looking for. IT department may be looking for a new software, a new computer, new server, new computer accessories, laptop, mouse, cables, connections, or new licenses, Microsoft Office licenses. The finance department may be looking for something, there will maybe a stationary item or something. They will not be asking much, maybe a books, ledgers, or some other office stationery or something they are looking for. So each one is looking for something. Okay, either the company can have a centralized procurement where the procurement, they will be instructing requester. So the person which we have discussed, all these people are called requesters. So they will be requesting the procurement department or procurement team saying that, hey, I am looking for this item. So the responsibility of procurement team is to purchase that item in the market and deliver to the requester on time. Suppose he is expecting tomorrow, he should be able to contact the vendor who can supply this item by tomorrow as per the specification given by the requester. So that is the procurement activity. Once they find out and do that, what is the process? The procurement team has to create a purchase order. Requester team has to create a PR, purchase requisition. These people, procurement team will be creating a purchaser, and then supplier who would be receiving the purchase order from the company, and he will be supplying again as the PO, and then followed by he will also create an invoice. So this process starts from purchase requisition and ends with invoice. This is called P2P scenario, but procure to pay scenario. Then what is procure to order? The same instance where I'm only ending with my responsibility with ordering only. So I will not follow up on the invoice. In that scenario, it's called procure to order scenario. Then you might also hear S2P, source to pay. Here, in addition to the procurement activity, instead of ordering every time when the requester comes, you are doing an activity of find out from the source of supply and giving it. So procurement going ahead, what they are going to do is they will analyze how many type of purchases are made without any catalog. So you do not have a predetermined prices for certain item. You want to create a relationship with the supplier. Hey, coming years, I'm going to purchase, for example, I'm going to purchase laptops from you, but you need to give me a better pricing. So that is how you are going to enter an agreement with the supplier. We are going to purchase always HP or Dell or whatever the specification which we send, and you have to deliver us and you have to provide me 24/7, and your prices should be at par or should be below discounted price compared to the market price. So that is how you are going to negotiate with the supplier. That activity of negotiation with the supplier starts with sourcing. So during sourcing activity, you are going to find out the best suppliers among the available suppliers in the market. So once you have the supplier, what you are going to do is you are going to create a contract with them saying that I'll be doing these purchases for a period of 1 year, and we agreed that you will be giving 10% of discount on the MRP prices, and you have to deliver on certain location which I'm mentioning in the purchase order, and you should be supporting 24/7 also. If there is any problem coming, you have to support it. That is how I entered a contract. Now, I will be having the sourcing activity done. Contract is also done. Now, I will establish these details in my procurement system saying catalogs. Okay, then this requester, no need to request procurement department. He logins into the Ariba system. He browses through the catalog. He will find out the laptop which he is looking for. It automatically tells which supplier it is available, when it can be delivered under. He submits the PR. Purchase requisition is submitted. And then it will go for an approval process. Generally, companies, when someone is purchasing, it should be authenticated by his level of management. Probably or very basically, it will go to the supervisor. Okay, depending upon approval capacity, the supervisor can take a decision. If the amount spent is higher, then it might go to the finance team. If it is still more bigger amount, like capital expenditure, it might go to the board of directors. And after their approval, the POR will automatically convert it into a PO, purchase order, and it will send to the supplier over SAP Business Network. And supplier will accept that order by providing an order confirmation. After that, once you perform a goods receipt, the supplier can still submit invoice on the business network, and he will be completing the transaction. So that entire process is called source to pay. Now, the activity of doing the sourcing and contract is called upstream. The process flow of procurement is called downstream. So in upstream, we are going to see sourcing module, contract module, and additionally SLP. SLP nothing but supplier lifecycle performance and management. We will also now we are having do sourcing and contract activity. Now I have provided one supplier with all the agreed terms and good. But however, after 5 months or 6 months, I'm not seeing proper response from the supplier. So whenever we are placing a purchase order, he's not giving an order confirmation. I have to call him and ask for, hey, I have sent a PO, and he says, oh, I missed to see the PO order. I will let you know. So something like that. Or he may be putting a pressure on us saying that, hey, invoice is due by today. I have not issued the payment. So all these things are not liked by any of the professional departments. So here, that could be one of the scenario. Or the supplier has vanished. It was acquired by some other company, and supplier is not in a position to deliver on the agreed times. It could be anything. So how can we evaluate the supplier, or how we will know that whether the supplier is performing well or not? Through the SLP module. So the SLP module covers two things. One is onboarding of supplier. That means how a new supplier will be brought into your Ariba spend management system. And then you will also do the performance management. On a periodical survey, you are going to conduct on the supplier and find out their ratings. And based on the rating, you will take a proper action. If it is good, I mean, if he has scored as per our expectation, then we don't need to take any action. If he's falling below our expectation, we try to provide him a chance. So we will give the feedback to the supplier. Hey, our company is not receiving what we are expected. So you need to work hard so that we will continue our business. If not, we will go with alternative option. Like that, you will be discussing with the supplier and you will monitor him. And if still he is not performing it, then you might choose for an alternative source of supply. So that process we are going to cover in SLP. And also, this is a replacement of an SAP's SRM system. If people are coming from SRM, so Ariba has, SAP has stopped providing support to SRM. No more installation. Alternative option would be Ariba's SLP system. So these three modules we are going to see in Ariba upstream part. And coming to the downstream, this is called buying and invoicing. You can take both, or you can take one, or you can take only sourcing also. All these 5 modules are independent. In another way, Ariba is flexible that as per client's requirement or customer's requirement, they can able to choose what application they want to do it. Okay, when I'm talking about downstream buying, so the buying activity starts from PR and it ends with PO. That is buying activity. Invoicing will start with suppliers invoicing and performing invoice reconciliation. What is reconciliation? When your company receives an invoice in their hand, they will verify whether the invoice prices are same as per the purchase order or not. And secondly, whether we have received that item or the service. Whether installation is there as part of your purchase order. Whether installation is done or not will be verified by the finance payable team. And if everything looks fine, they will release the payment. So that activity we are going to see under invoicing module. That is invoicing module. So there are 5 modules. We are going to cover all these 5 modules. And you are flexible to take any one of the module also. It varies. Now, our training will cover both end user training as well as client consultant training. So what is end user and what is consultant? So when I'm saying that I will be creating a sourcing project, you would not be knowing how to create a sourcing project. That is covered first. And then as a consultant, what is our activity? Upstream is followed by a template process. Each module or each section is having a template, relevant template. That template will drive the process flow. So we are going to touch on we are going to look at the templates, how we have to create a template, how we have to create the workflow, and how we have to publish the template, and how we'll be using the template. After that, using our own template which we have created, we can continue our testing also. That training will be provided. I will take a pause. Any questions up to what we have discussed?
Hello, Siri.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, can you a little bit tell more about this SRM?
SRM. SRM is
Yes.
Supplier Relationship Management. It's like SAP MM where you are having ECC or S4HANA. Earlier, SRM is the module where you are going to maintain your supplier database. So the supplier process and other things will be done in SRM application. That is sundown. So no more support is provided by SAP. The replacement or alternative application for SRM would be Ariba's SLP module. SLP also earlier, there are 2 things. One is SIPM, Supplier Information and Performance Management, and SPM, Supplier Performance Management. Now, Ariba has combined both and they are offering as the one module, that is Supplier Lifecycle Performance and Management. In short form, it is called as SLP. I hope I answered.
Okay, sir. It's clear. It's clear.
Okay, let's continue on this thing. Now, as I mentioned, Ariba is flexible on any of these modules. There is a question. That's exactly, that's why I'm saying you can able to subscribe only the module which you are looking for. So, if you are having an SAP module, module for processing, you can go ahead with only the upstream solution. Or if you are comfortable with upstream module, but you want a procurement solution, you might go with downstream solution. So It all depends on the client. In SAP MM, probably it is very difficult for the users to create a requisition on their own because they should be knowing T code, transaction code, and they have to enter the details, check that validation, and after that, PO has to be generated and PO has to be supplier. In Ariba environment, this is automated. It's a kind of e-commerce, like how you browse a catalog in any Amazon site. So Ariba buying also enables you to browse to the catalogs and place a purchase order. That's the reason some people will go with only buying and invoicing solution in Ariba, and some clients will say, no, sourcing is our main activity. I want to save a lot of money, or I want my sourcing procurement activities should be efficient. So I will be taking only the sourcing. Rest of the activities I want to perform on my ERP system. That is also possible. It's all based on the client's requirement. We cannot decide which is best for which one. There is one more. Patel is having the question. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So P2P, S2P, P2O is all comes in the same model, right? Or how it differs in
Okay.
this Ariba?
Good question. So if you're saying procure to pay, you're subscribing to both buying and invoicing module. But when you say that I am taking only procure to order module, then I'm only going with buying subscription. I will not take care of invoicing in Ariba. I will continue my existing process. How your invoices are handled by current system. So that system only will handle the invoices. Sending a purchase order to the supplier, I am going to use Ariba. After that activity, I'm going to use my ERP system. That scenario is called procure to order scenario. Clear?
Okay, S2P means?
S2P means source to pay. So you start from the sourcing activity. It's a combine of all activities. Sourcing, contract, buying, and invoicing. Entire activities, that is called source to pay. Starting from the sourcing and ends with paying.
Okay.
These are all the terminologies you will come across when you're talking about Ariba related topics. But generally, the process remains same only up to what subscription you are taking. So that drives the modules which you have offered. Okay. Now, coming to here. Now, as a client or a customer, I'm going to approach SAP Ariba for my business transformation from existing processes to be processes of Ariba usage. In this scenario, Ariba, as I mentioned, you're going with one module. Then, if I'm taking only the sourcing module, I would be paying this much amount. If I'm taking contract, I'll be paying this much of amount. If I'm taking both sourcing and contract, probably I will be paying additionally. When I go in SLP, then again, I'll be paying more amount. Similarly, buying, I'll be paying little bit higher amount. And invoicing, it all depends upon how you are going to pay. I'll be paying more. So all these modules together is called suite integration. Probably it might come as a cheaper. When you're taking 1111 subscription, maybe higher. If you're taking as a suite integration, later you might be using it. But right now you're going to subscribe, then you will be taking a suite integration. With that, the price will be little bit comparatively taking entry module model and suite integration will have a lesser pricing. So then you are going to migrate all your existing processes into Ariba's procurement process, which will include sourcing, contract, SLP, buying, and invoicing. So there are two things you will be paying. One for the subscription, second for the usage. So what is usage? So for subscription, for taking a sourcing module, I'll be paying one amount, so XXX. So usage, suppose if I'm spending from 1 to 1 million, I'll be paying 1x amount. If I'm paying 1 million above until 10 million, so that means my total purchase order value or transaction value on a business network, then I'll be paying a little bit more. It could be on the basis of your spend or basis of number of users. For example, if I'm having 1 to 200 users, I'll be paying this much amount. If more than 200 to 2000 users, I'll be paying this much amount. It varies from region to region. So Ariba will be giving you the pricing depends upon your company's architecture. Why? I'm taking this company, okay? In my company, I'm only having 20 users. Okay, I'm paying one amount. where another company, they're having 20,000 users. So I cannot be offering the same price to the 20,000 customers also, because that much of load will be there on your Ariba application. So 20,000 users accessing Ariba by one company, then it is not fair to take a very small amount. So accordingly, the amount will be changed. So based on your company architecture and how many users will be using and all, then your pricing will be different. So these are all the customer's responsibility. We are not worried. It's in the sales team. Let's talk about the projects which will come across in Ariba. When you go to any SAP project or something, then there is a lot of things you need to do. You need to set up organization structure. You need to work with the other consultant, FA consultant, and other consultant. You have to coordinate and get the system ready. You have to perform UAT, and anything change, you have to go to the SPRO. You have to develop, and you have to move from one portal, one system to another system via transport and other things. But coming to Ariba, since it's a cloud-based solution, application is already built by Ariba. You are not going to change anything in the application level. What you are going to do is customizing or making the process flow as per the business requirement. That is only we are going to do under application. So then, what kind of a project? Before you enter into the project, there might be already your client has consulted, your client has met already with the SAP, and they have agreed that they are only going with contract module, or they are taking a suite integration. At this stage, you already know what they are going to go on. So then the people will be selected based on their experience level on the different modules, and then they will be building the application and delivering to the client. So the advantage, one of the advantage would be, so most of the pre-activities are already done. You are not going to involve in the business process of what is as-is process and what is recommended process only. So you will be starting with the module where you are expertise. You will be presenting a demo of the Ariba application and making the application ready as per the business requirement. So that is the implementation project. So where you are going to take care of all the business requirement and convert into the business into Ariba application flow. Second, after the application is installed by one of the IT company, then the follows support. Then generally they will be also having a hypercare. What is hypercare? Suppose X company, IT company has installed Ariba in the month of December. So they will be agreeing for a 2 months of hypercare. It's as per the agreement they will be doing minimum 1 month and maximum 3 months. They will not go beyond that because they will be moving on to the other project. So during hypercare, 2 months. After that, who will maintain this application? So that project is called support project. So during support project, the people from support team will be maintaining the implemented application and also take care of any new enhancements or product releases. So the support team will take care of responsibilities. And there is one more project, rollout project. What is the rollout project? In implementation, probably I have implemented Ariba in a APAC region. Now I am going to implement this in Europe or America. So what I'm going to do? So you already aware what is the setup, what is the architecture of your company. You're going to roll out this Ariba application to one of the regions. So that's called rollout project. You will be part of any of these projects, either an implementation project, support project, or a rollout project. The implementation project, you need thorough understanding of the knowledge and building the application, and also consultant knowledge. Support project, as long as you are good with the application maintenance and how you have to drive the application, you will be in support project. Rollout project, it's a mix of both implementation and support. So you will be understanding the current structure and you are trying to implement the changes for the rollout project. So these kind of projects you will come across. Now I'll quickly take you to the Ariba dashboard to show you the screens in Ariba, and then I will open for Q&A. Tomorrow session, we are going to start with sourcing module. On the sourcing side, what we are going to do, that we are going to start in tomorrow's session. Let me take you to the dashboard. When you enter username and password, you will be logging into Ariba. So that page is called Ariba landing page or Ariba application or Ariba site, Ariba realm. You can call any name. So this is your home page once you log in into the Ariba application. Okay. So two things here. When I mention parent site or upstream and downstream, upstream you will be seeing sourcing in the title bar or URL. You will be seeing sourcing. That means you are an upstream solution. When you see buyer, then you are in a downstream solution, buying and invoicing solution. So in order to switch from one side to another side, you will be using the site button. And then when you click here, mostly C1 stands for child side. So if I'm in a parent, then it will take me to the child side. If I'm in a child, it will take me to the parent side. So now I'm in parent side. So on the on the right corner side where you're seeing a initial is your user menu. There you will be having an options to self-service services, which are all like changing a password, changing your default language, activating your mobile, and changing some email preferences and all you are going to perform under your self-service menu. Then this help menu will help you to browse to the SAP documentation if you want some technical details or some additional information from SAP browser, then you can able to get from help menu. And this search menu and this magnifier both are same. When I click search menu, I need to select one more document. So under which document I'm looking for my document. So for example, I'm looking for some contract workspaces. Then I click on contract workspaces. Then how do I search? I need to just fill in the details. Looks like it's taking me time. Okay, if this way, or you can go with, I think there is a lag in the system. Let me sign out and re-log in. Give me a second, I will log in and I'll reshare. So this is URL. Once you enter the URL, you need to enter username and password and click on sign in. So there is one authentication required. So from your authentication, you need to enter the verification code. Then you will be taking into the Ariba. Second.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
May I ask a question here?
Yeah. Yeah, you can ask.
Yeah, sorry, I think if I have missed it. So how many hours of training this session would
Yeah,
be?
I did not come to that. So we'll be having 30 hours is expected. It can go up to 35 hours or 28 hours. It depends upon batch to batch. So if there is a more interaction, so we'll be covering up to 35 hours.
Okay. So and how about these servers, access to the server? And
Servers you will be provided, I believe 2 months of access will be provided. So during learning, you will be having that access. So you can practice 24/7.
okay, yeah.
The more information you can get it from the support team. Okay, so let me take you to the Ariba navigation. I'll come back. I'll quickly show the navigation. Okay, here I can click the search button when I'm looking for a contract template, sorry, contract documents. So I'm inside the contract template. So the results will be there. I just need to enter what is the name of the project. For example, toy. So there is somebody has created a toy. So I'm clicking on what are all the projects created for a toy. So there are these many projects. I can click on test. Whatever the projects I have created with the project name as a test, then all the results will be shown here. Further, you can filter down or you can refine your search by adding additional header values like contract status, supplier, or I can select the drop down and I can change the header value. Probably I'm looking for the owner. So I want to select the owner. I want to select. So what are all the projects created by using this user ID? I am selecting multiple user IDs. I'll click on done. Now my results will show any of these user ID. Click by search. You can search by supplier, you can search by created date, you can search by so many things that are there. So contract amount, you can search by commodity code. So many searches are available. Now you see there are about 75 contract I found. When I click any of these links on the description or the title, I should be able to see the project inside of it. By clicking on open, I should be able to see the contract. So this is how an Ariba contract workspace looks like. I'll go back to the home page. So this is how you are going to search. If you want to return to your home page, you will be clicking on the logo. And these tabs, which you are seeing, procurement, supplier catalog, these are all depending upon the access you are having. If you are having access to procurement, you will be having that tab. If you are having sourcing, you will have a tab for sourcing. The sourcing department people will only have access to sourcing. Contract management people will only have contract. So it's all specific to the user's permission. Since we're a customer administrator and training purpose, we have all, but in real time, users will be having only limited access to their particular module. Coming to this is called action tiles, which is a simplified pictorial information of what you're looking for. On the left-hand side, what you're seeing here, create menu design, the same appears here also. If you by clicking on more, it will take you to what you want to create. So the create option will give you options for creating a document. Managing your administrative activities can be done from here. If I perform something, that will appear on recent. Then this is called dashboard content. My documents, whatever you have created, will be having the document. Whatever to-do action, suppose you are an approver, you will be having the to-do action to take an action. And you will also have notification, calendar. Calendar will give you, as of day, how many projects are overdue. All this information from your calendar, you can able to get it. You can able to change these tiles into different places by simply dragging them. I can choose if I want this 2 boxes window, I can do that. Or I can move to the left side, or I can put it on the top left side also. It's all possible. Anytime if you are faced an issue, you can come here, click on this button, and you can revert to set to default setting. That way you can do. You can also put announcements like news or maybe RSS feed or something. You can able to add it. So the flexibility is available for the user to keep his dashboard as per his choice. So let me take back you to the training module. So this is for the people who are not aware. So you can go through the syllabus provided by the support team. Will be generally expected 30 hours. Apart from the above, we are also going to cover administrative, core administrative, importing of master data, integration, CAG, all we are going to cover. 30 hours is expected, but it can go between 28 to 35 or 36 also. We are flexible. We don't have any limitation. As long as we are covering all the topics, we are going to have the session. Every day, 1 hour, that is 7 to 8, we will be having IST hours. And Wednesday is a holiday. Holiday in the sense, we'll be having Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days a week, we'll be having. Wednesday, you are having some connect in Sastrageek. That can be, the people can choose that session also. Clear? Any questions?
So it means that the training might be ending in the start of the July, like fourth or first week or second.
That's correct. Yes.
Approximately.
So when we are taking like 30 hours, it will be completing by July. Yeah.
Okay.
So every day before we start the session, we'll be reviewing with the student if they had any issue on previous day. So if they're practicing it, they're stuck in something, that will be clarified, and then we'll be continue with the next topic.
So server is ready now, and we can request to get the access for the server.
That's correct. Yeah. So the dashboard we're going to cover once again. So once we have finalized the student, we'll be covering dashboard navigation also.